Hey everybody, this is Tim Hinton from the Marching Roundtable podcast. We're at the end of another year. It's the end of 2017, and I'm here to say a big thank you to you. Thank you for listening. Thank you to everyone who was a guest. Thank you to everyone who helped sponsor an episode to keep our lights on. We so appreciate it. It's been so exciting to get to talk to so many wonderful people and share so much going on in our activity right now. This year in 2017, we went from podcast number 578 and ended the year with podcast 672. It's just astounding. It's so exciting to get to talk about all these great topics. We talked about, I'm just going to go over a few things. Looking down the list this year, we talked about running an independent winter program. We talked about fashion. We did a whole series on women and women empowerment and women in the marching arts. We talked about Blue Rock. We talked about band in South America. We talked about the Bluecoats going to Hong Kong. I went to interview judges at the DCI Judges Winter Meeting. That was really an administrative team meeting. That was really interesting. We talked about, oh good grief, all the WGI stuff, digital sampling and percussion. We had our WGI wrap-ups. Talked about the problems with Class A size of the crowds at WGI Class A. They're working on that. I know it'll be better. I talked about my martial arts classes and how that information was applicable. We talked more about women in leadership roles in DCI. We talked about DCI season started. We started talking about Michael Gaines with Santa Clara. We talked about the Bluecoats and Thank You Scientists. We talked about a lot about drill writers and how band directors can work better with drill writers and directors. Advice for directors from drill writers. We talked about starting as a drill writer. Hanging there, almost done. We talked about uniforms and uniforms versus costumes, big deal. Then we talked about amplification, another big deal. Then we talked about our wrap-ups. I interviewed people at DCI, more about amplification, tons of advice, tons of great information. Thank you to everybody that came on and talked. Again, thank you for listening. I got to tell you, what may be the most exciting thing that happened this whole year was the last week and a half of the DCI season. Top designers and instructors from a lot of the top DCI corps stopped everything and sat down and talked to us about their programs, about how they design programs. This started with the wonderful Scott Chandler from the Blue Devils talking about how they put together that winning show. And then George Hopkins stopped and talked to us. Then the folks from Santa Clara stopped and talked to us about their show and their props. And then people from Crown and people from Boston, et cetera, et cetera. It was so wonderful. I so appreciate them stopping to do that. I got to tell you, it was very gratifying that they felt like our podcast and what we were trying to do and tell people was valuable enough to stop at that time of the year and share that information with us and with you. If you haven't heard those interviews, the full webinar recordings are at marchingartseducation.com. You can watch those perfectly for free. There are clips of them on our YouTube channel, and if you're not subscribing to our YouTube channel, please do that. Go to YouTube, search for Marching Roundtable, subscribe to our channel. We're trying to share lots of great information there. Listen, we have great plans for 2018. We're doing a whole series to start the year on prop safety, which is a big issue. A lot of people asked us to talk about, so we're doing that. Lots of other great things. There's actually probably 10 or 12 podcasts in the can ready to go because we've been doing a lot of them during December, getting ready for the new year. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for watching this long video where I want to say thank you, to the guests, to the sponsors, people that have been on the whole podcast. It's been a wonderful, wonderful year. Really looking forward to more great podcasts next year. And if you want to support the podcast, even with $1 a month, every little bit would help us keep this going. Go to patreon.com/marchingroundtable, our Patreon page where you can just donate a little bit of something. There are different things that you can get if you donate more each month, things that we do for you to say thank you. So thanks for another great year of podcast. Thanks for watching this video. It's been great. This is Tim Hinton. Looking forward to more of it in the future.